Hello everyone. I am going to explain you a poem, The Road Not Taken, by the famous poet Robert Lee Frost. In this video, we are going to cover the following topics: about the author, theme of the poem, stanza-wise explanation of the poem, message conveyed by the poet, style of the poem, literary devices present in the poem, and the poem at a glance, that is, revision notes. About the author. Robert Lee Frost was an American poet. He was born on March 26, 1874, in San Francisco, California. In 1894, he sold his first poem, My Butterfly, to the New York Independent. In 1913, Frost published A Boy's Will, and it was well received. His poems such as Into My Own, Moving, and A Tuft of Flowers convey an inclination towards nature, solitude, and meditation. His best works explore fundamental questions of existence, depicting with chilling starkness the loneliness of the individual in an indifferent universe. He won many awards in his life, such as four Pulitzer Prizes, and was named the Poet Laureate of Vermont in 1961. Also, he got nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature 31 times. Frost breathed his last on January 29, 1963, in Boston, Massachusetts. Now let's see the theme of the poem. The poem The Road Not Taken is a poem about journey of life. The two roads diverged in a yellow wood forest symbolize a person's life. Human beings are defined by the choices they make in their lives. What matters most is that we should be content with the decisions we made and the outcomes it brought to us. It is normal to wonder what the outcome would have been if the other road, the road not taken, was chosen. But it is futile to think about this hypothetical situation, for it is impossible to say whether taking the other road would have been better or worse. All one can say is that it would have been different. Stanza 1. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Here, diverged means separated and took a different direction. Yellowwood means a forest with decomposing leaves. Undergrowth means a dense growth of shrubs and other plants. Here, the poet explains that while traveling on foot in the forest, he reaches a place where two roads bifurcates. Immediately, he discerned that as a traveler, traveling both the path is not possible. Here, two roads symbolizes two ways of life. The woods are yellow, which means that probably the leaves from the trees falls and turned yellow. As it is not possible to proceed on both the roads, the poet stands there trying to select which path he is going to take. However, the poet wants to go down both paths and is thinking about it difficult or hard. He is looking down one road, trying to see where it goes. The small shrubs and bushes block its view. Stanza 2. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as far that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Here, fair means as good as the other one. Claim means better option. Grassy means unused. And wanted wear means it has not been used for a long time. Here, the poet explains that he kept on staring at one path for a long time to check if it is the right path for him or not. And then he decided and started walking on another path. After traveling through the road, he found that both the paths are equally traveled. First, he felt that the first road was better for him, so he chooses it, as it had grass on it, which means that it was less traveled by the people. But later on, he realized that both the roads had been shabby in the same way. In the same way, even in our life, when we choose any path, all of them have some disadvantages, advantages, difficulty, challenges, and we must face them. Stanza 3. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Here, trodden means walked over. Here, the poet says that he found both the paths looking same. Feasibly, he goes in the flashback. It was sturdy for him to recognize the real path as in the morning he was the first person to walk on the road. He couldn't set on right path as no step had splintered the leaves on the roads to allow him to go for the right one. The poet here reserves the first road for some other day, although he knew that one way leads on to another way. He is not sure that he will ever be able to come back and take the other path. In the same way, even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that choice, and we never get an opportunity to come back and take the other option that we had left prior or earlier. Stanza 4. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Here, sigh means deep breath, and hence means in the future. Here, the poet stated that in the future he will take a moan and say that once in his life he reached to the point where two choices are there for him, and he chose the less traveled road. His decisions decided his future. When you grow up, then you will say that when you were young, you had two options. The choice that you made you what you became of it. There is a very strong message for all the students that you should be very careful and fair while taking your decisions regarding the choices in your life, because your future depends on it. Message conveyed by the poet. The author wants us to perceive that in life we face various alternatives. There will be choices that will be favored by a lot of people and options that lesser number of people will admire. Once we come to a conclusion, we reach our path, and therefore our future is determined. We cannot go back in time and switch the decisions we have made, so we all must be sagacious while making selection. Style of the poem. The poem comprises four verses of 5 lines. The rhyming scheme is ABAAB, which means that the first line rhymes with the third and fourth lines, and the second line rhyme with the fifth line. The rhymes are precise and robust, with the notable anomaly of the last line. There are four stressed syllables per line, varying on iambic tetrameter base. What are literary devices? The analysis of literary devices explains the hidden meanings of a literary text or a poem. The use of literary devices is intended to bring richness and clarity to the text. with different meanings. This poem is also filled with important undertones with the following literary devices. Number one, symbolism. What is symbolism? The use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. Here in the poem, two roads represent two or more choices in our life. This is symbolism. Anaphora. What is anaphora? The repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses. Here, in line number 2 and 3 of stanza 1, in line number 2 of stanza 2, in line number 1 of stanza 3, and line number 5 of stanza 4, we see that all these lines starts from the word and repeated at the beginning. This is anaphora. Alliteration. The occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words are alliteration. As in second stanza, third line, it is given wanted where. Here, W sound is repeating. In third stanza, third line, it is given first for. Here, F sound is repeating. And in second stanza, fourth line, here the words given though, that. Here, TH sound is repeating. This is alliteration. Fourth, repetition. The action of repeating something that has already been said or written. Here in the poem, ages is repeated in fourth stanza and two roads diverged in a wood. This sentence is repeated in stanza 1 and 4. Number fifth, assonance. Assonance is the repetition of certain vowel sounds. As in stanza 2, it is given as for that the passing there. Here, in this sentence, the short A sound repeated in the word as, that, and pass. Metaphor. A word or phrase applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. For example, road is the metaphor of life, while fork represent the choices we make to determine the course of our lives. Yellow woods represent the decisions during the hard times of a person's life. Imagery. It is visually descriptive language. Words such as leaves, yellow wood help readers to actually distinguish things they are reading. Simile. The comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind used to make description more emphatic. There is one simile used in the second stanza, such as just as fair. It shows how the poet has linked the road less traveled to the easy way through life. Next, personification. The attribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non human. In the third line of second stanza, it is stated, because it was grassy and wanted wear, as if the road is human and it wants to wear and tear. Poem at a glance. The poet was standing at a place where two paths separate in a forest of yellow wood. He regrets that he couldn't proceed on both the path at the same time. He peered down one path as far as he could see it till it curved away in the vegetation. The other road was just as unbiased and feasibly presented a better claim. The second road was grassy, less visited by travelers, and wanted view. The poet had to make a choice and he set on the puzzle. He opted the second road, which is less traveled, and kept the first path for some other day. The poet had a hesitation that he would never get a chance to visit on the first road again. The decision had been taken and it made all the difference in his life. It was very difficult to say about the pros and cons of the decision on the spur of the moment. But the poet appears very cheerful nor very downhearted with his choice and leaves the end open to the readers and their choices.